Howdy, this is your Houston Chiropractor, Dr. Tristan Wendt, coming from Advanced Chiropractic Relief in Houston, Texas. And today I'm joined with Martin. Martin's a local Houstonian who came into our office today for his first visit. This will be his very first time getting a ring dinger and getting the Johnson biophysics adjustments done. Martin is a concrete pourer who suffers from some low back pain with some right-sided lumbosacral radiculopathy and some paresthesia down the S1 nerve root. He's getting some sharp shooting pains all the way down his hamstring, all the way into the back of his calf, and all the way down to the bottom of his foot, which is that S1 nerve root. Right. He's also complaining a little bit of some thoracic spine stiffness, like a lot of S's to say back there, which again is a compensatory thing to the low back pain that you're feeling. He's also dealing with a little bit of neck pain with some headaches, primarily on the right-hand side. And he's also dealing with some acid reflux type symptoms. He hasn't been diagnosed from his PCP with acid reflux, and I am not diagnosing him with acid reflux, but he reports a lot of the symptoms that other patients with acid reflux report. And so after we do all the adjustings today to the thoracic spine and the rib cage, everything that you've seen on the video, we're also going to do the not hiatal hernia pull, but the fascial pull. Okay. We're actually working on the fascia that connect to that lower rib cage, which can help with some of those acid reflux symptoms. So first we're going to start with just your posture here today. Have you relax those hands by your side. I want you to bend the head all the way forward and all the way backwards. Good, back to neutral. And we've already done all this, and I've already got my notes written down here, but I want to show you guys first. That number one thing that we're dealing with here is that forward head posture. And I knew Martin was a side sleeper because his head is forward to the left, but then it's rotated back to that right-hand side. And again, it's not me following around Martin knowing those things, it's just what his spine's telling me. So we also have some left translation here. That's why you don't see as much light on the left-hand side between your wrist and your pelvis as you do on the right-hand side. So you can kind of see how it's shifted and that head's off to the other side. You see all that in the mirror there? All right, so we're gonna lay you down here on this table first. Since this is my first opportunity to work with you, we're gonna do the biophysics table, and then we'll get you over to the decompression afterwards. Do my leg checks again here. So Martin's short on the left by about 1/4 of an inch in this position, and they get longer by about 1/8 of an inch on that left-hand side. And that tightens up in that low back and pelvis when we do that. I also want to show them your sacral deviation test here, so I'm going to have you lock and lift this knee again for me one more time, Martin. Good, so you have decent range of motion on that left-hand side. Now we'll do the same thing on this right-hand side. So you'll notice that it's reduced on that right-hand side, and Martin feels that as well. It's harder for him to initiate that movement, and that's just a sacral deviation test. Tells me he's got some rotation on the right-hand side of that sacrum. So I'm gonna drop this table out from underneath you, okay, Martin? And since this is your first visit in here, I'm just gonna show you real quick. This table's gonna pop up underneath you, and then when I apply a force into your spine, it's just gonna drop from underneath you, and that's the table making all those noises, not your spine, okay? All right, so I'm gonna start on this right-hand side, work on this rotation here. Good. Good. Left SI joint. And hit the right sacrum one more time here, okay? Just because I can still feel some palpatory change. Good. I'm going to do his leg check just after that pelvic adjustment to see if we've made any changes just from that. And they are more even, not necessarily even yet, but better than what we were. And that probably already feels a little bit easier, doesn't it, Martin?
A little bit, yeah.
Yep. So now we're going to work into his lumbar spine next. We're going to start with L5 here. Yep, you feel that one? Good. These lumbar adjustments you don't always hear on video, but me and the patient both can feel that almost sliding sensation underneath there, which is exactly what we're looking for. Last one here, okay? Good. Good. We're even now in this position, and they stay even. It should feel easier in that low back and pelvis, but you tell me, Martin.
Yeah, it does.
Good. So now we're going to work into your thoracic spine here. Have you take a nice deep breath in through that nose. Good. There we go. One more here. There we go. Good. I'm gonna get you to scoot down just a little bit on that table for me. Get those shoulders off that headpiece. Good. Maybe take one more nice deep breath in through that nose, and really let those shoulders just drop, 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 drop. Good. All right, you're gonna feel that head popping up next. Scoot down just a touch more. Good. Got a heavy head today. Just have a lot on your mind, huh? Good. Have you go face up for me now, please, sir? A little deeper in person, huh?
Yeah.
Mark is a self-proposed crack addict. He has seen some of our videos. That's what got you into the office, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like myself. That's how I found Dr. Johnson, was on YouTube about 8 years ago. So now again, I'm gonna contact on either side of your cheek, focus on getting that head back up over our shoulders. Last one here. Now we go arms out to the side like a big old T. So again, I'm not diagnosing you with the acid reflux, but we've already adjusted that thoracic spine. Now we're about to work on the anterior rib cage as well. And all of that helps with this diaphragm that attaches to the lower rib cage. Because if it's not getting proper function and we have subluxations here, that can sometimes, again, this isn't me diagnosing him with this, but sometimes that's what causes that hiatus to kind of weaken up, and that's what lets that stomach slip up through there and secrete that acid into the lower side. But again, I'm treating the non-musculoskeletal components of everything that you've reported to me. Okay. Clavicle next. So now I'm gonna have you relax those hands right here up in upper chest, a little bit higher for me here. So this is that move here. We're gonna help stretch all this fascia down here. So I'm gonna have you take a nice deep breath in through your nose, blow it all the way out. Keep blowing that air out, keep blowing out. Good, so on this next one, I want you to keep blowing air out the entire time I'm pushing down, okay? Good, blow that air out, keep blowing, keep blowing, keep blowing. Good. Last one here, okay? Yep. You should feel all that stretching coming through there. You feel that?
Yep. Oh yeah.
It should feel pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not very comfortable when I'm on there doing the stretch, but then as soon as I let go, it kind of almost feels relaxed in that lower rib cage area.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're going to decompress it from the lower end. So all you got to do is let this leg go like a limp rag for me. Good.
Oh.
You should have felt that from your knee all the way up into your low back, didn't you? Good. Same thing here. All right, we're going to sit you up and face this way next. You didn't think the new guy was going to take it easy on you, did you?
Yeah.
I know it's been one of the big concerns with existing and new patients coming in with the big transition going on right now. But I appreciate you coming in here and giving me the opportunity to show you everything Dr. Johnson's shown me over the last 8 years, plus everything I learned at Palmer College of Chiropractic.
All right.
Because I haven't changed anything Dr. Johnson does in here, but every once in a while I may add something in here or there that I just see fits for the patient that's in front of me. Good. You're just falling into place, my friend. We're gonna work on the elbows next. One thing I've noticed here too, and I'm just going to point out to you, it's not me picking on you. So as I'm going through these adjustments, you kind of notice how that head just kind of drops forward subconsciously. I want you to start focusing on bringing this head back up over our shoulders. Holding that chin up high, there you go. That's just your brain adapting to the positions that you've been in over the last 10, 20, 30 years of your life. Living, working, and breathing in gravity.
Right.
Your brain, much like in a sleeping position, you feel like you can't sleep unless you're on that side. It's only because your brain has adapted and created that pattern. Okay. That's why you don't even think about it, but over time when you're just sitting there thinking about other things, your head will just slowly start to gravitate forward. And it's not just you. A lot of people, it happens to a lot of people, even myself. If I'm on YouTube too much or something like that. I even have to be conscious of the positions that I'm putting my spine in. Even in here adjusting patients all day long. Ooh, 5 for 5. All right, so we're gonna stand you up next. This is where we're really gonna set you free here. So I'm gonna have you go butt here, head up this way. All right, So these legs are going to get raised by this table. Once you just relax as the table brings them up. This is how we recommend our patients start sleeping. But I'd be lying to you if I said you're going to go home and get 8 full hours of sleep on your back with no pillow with your legs elevated. It's going to be a habitual things that you're going to have to start changing. Because again, when you're in that forward flex position, sleeping on your side, curled up in a fetal position, that's all that same forward flex position that you're in when you're at work all day pouring the concrete and stuff too.
Okay.
So we want to start counteracting and doing the opposite of those things, so we get some extension into our life. Good, I'm gonna go one tighter on this side, okay? You're probably thinking, please don't, but you need it. I want you to hear tighter rather than looser. Good. And there's now, it's snug now, huh?
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna have you lift that head up for just a second. Good. And it's important on this one, you just keep your teeth together. I don't want you to clench your teeth together, just touch them so that tongue doesn't get between there. Take a nice deep breath in through that nose. Blow it all the way out. Oh. And you should have felt that all the way down. Yes, sir. Home run, huh? That's one of the better reactions we've seen all day too, because you kind of just feel that weight lifting off your shoulders, huh?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And this is just for the video. He's still kicking.
Needed that.
Absolutely. Did you kind of feel instinctually that you just needed that decompression even watching the videos?
Right. Yeah.
That's exactly how I felt watching the videos before I started as a patient in here too. And again, that's just because gravity's working on you 24/7 and your body knows that you need decompression. Tilt to the right. Good. To the left. Perfect. All right, so next we're going to stand you up and we're going to check that posture again, okay? All right, I'll take your hand here. Step sideways. Perfect. Now we're going to stand right here and face this mirror again. All right, take one more half step back towards me. Good. So I want you to close your eyes again and bend that head all the way forward, all the way backwards. Good, better range of motion. It's not kinking up into extension there anymore, huh? Good. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bounce these muscles. Have you bend forward just a little bit here. Since this is your first adjustment here, I will warn you, you probably will be sore after this. So crushed ice in the freezer baggie directly on the skin wherever you feel sore, whether that's the low back, mid back, neck, hips, anything. The gun's a little deeper in person too, huh? Doesn't look like it does much on the videos, but I promise it does. So this is our homework.
Okay.
3 parts, okay? Part 1 is shoulders up, all the way back. Notice I'm tightening up that entire trap. So shoulders up, all the way back, as far back as we can get them. Good. Part 2 is the most important, so I'm going to help you first. I want you to take this chin and go straight back to the wall behind you. Good. Now I want you to extend as far back as you can. Hold this position for just a second here. Just a second there. Good. Now relax. And then do the same thing where all you do is bend that head forwards and backwards. Should feel even smoother this time.
Oh yeah.
I can put a little WD-40 in there, huh? All right, Martin. So I know we did discuss in your history as well. You'd been to one other chiropractor in the area. How would you compare this treatment today versus the treatment you received over there?
Much better. Much more in depth.
In depth, right?
Yeah.
And we've talked a little bit too about the history and the exam and everything that we did that you don't see on camera. You said that chiropractor didn't even really put his hands on you other than just the adjustments. Whereas I'm checking your reflexes, we're doing muscle strength, we're doing all kinds of tests just to make sure it's safe to get these adjustments in here. So appreciate you stopping by. Let me work on you today.
Thank you.
Hope to see you and potentially your wife here in the future, since I know you're gonna be showing her this video.
Right.
Can you give any shout outs to anybody out there in YouTube land?
Come check out Advanced Chiropractic Relief and you'll feel much better.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank very much.
Thank you.
This is your Houston chiropractor, Tristan Wendt, coming to you from Advanced Chiropractic Relief in Houston, Texas, and we'll see y'all soon.